So the next phrase is, I can't. I can't, do this piece of homework. I can't set the table. I can't speak nicely. I can't tie my shoelaces. But there seems to be a real defiance or rebellion when kids say, I can't. And what we need as adults and as parents and educators to remember is to say, they can't yet. There's something in the way. There's a block in the way. It could be that they're tired, that they're hungry. It could be that they've just had quite a lot of triggers in the day and their brains just can't compute the next thing to do. It might literally be they can't remember the steps. Where is the vacuum cleaner? Where do I start? What do I do with the empty bag? How long is it going to take? All those are executive functions that aren't very developed in children with ADHD and ASD. So if you hear, I can't do this, really important to say, let's break it down. Let's see, where would we start? And so if you start here and then do the next step, I'm sure you'll remember or you'll be able to work out the next steps. And come and ask me if you get stuck. So we're giving them a sense that, yeah, it's true that there's probably too many things that you're trying to do at once. Just start here. Sometimes we're tempted to say, yeah, but you're so bright, or you did it yesterday, or you've always done it that way. Why now? Why are you saying I can't now? That's not helpful, because very often when we're saying I can't is we just can't access that bit of knowledge or that memory or how to do it. So it's better to encourage that young person, that child, that teen to say, well, start with what you can. Just do one thing. Just try for 5 minutes. And 5 minutes is enough. It's okay. Because what happens is when you lower the expectation and they, measure it for themselves saying, okay, I'll just do 5 minutes. They go to the book or the homework or the vacuum cleaner and they say, I'm just doing it for 5 minutes. And they get going. They start off and off they go. And then it all comes back to them, or they get excited, or they're engaged with it. This is not foolproof. A lot of kids, that's it. The defiance sets in and they can't. Sometimes it's okay to say, okay, leave that for now. We'll come back to it in an hour or maybe tomorrow. And then remember to come back to it saying, are you settled a bit more? Have you had a bit of a rest? You in a better frame of mind? We could do it together and then start them off again. I think if we forget that they're due to do something, they haven't done it, they've forgotten, or sneakily, they don't really want to do it. If you then forget, they can get away with it. But that's not helpful at all. We know that. So when kids say, I can't, just say to yourself, I can't yet. You might begin to then say to your child, I can see that. I can see you can't do it yet. But let's break it down and let's come back to it, or let's come back to it later.